Imagine you're an astronaut. You're stationed on the moon, the lone worker on a small base harvesting helium-3, the alternative fuel we are depending on to solve the Earth's oil crisis. You signed a 3-year deal with Lunar Industries to man this place, and your contract is almost up. Your wife was pregnant at the time of your departure, and now your daughter's big enough to be walking and talking. Home is right around the corner. And that's when things start to get weird. Your health is declining. You're hallucinating other people on the base. It must be the loneliness, right? You've been up here a long time. But no, this isn't cabin fever. This isn't homesickness. The truth is much, much darker. Today's movie is Moon, the 2009 science fiction film from director Duncan Jones. Now, I'm aware that science fiction and horror are not the same thing. They are their own separate genres, but this film is very creepy. This film is extremely haunting. And honestly, this is my show, and I'm going to cover what I want. Nobody talks about Moon, and that bothers me, so I'm taking it upon myself to change that. You got a problem? We're about to blast off through the entire story, so this is your last chance to watch the movie for yourself. Go ahead. I will be right here when you get back. It's not a problem. Welcome to Scream Sequence, razor-sharp reviews of your favorite creepy classics. Every video here on 616 Entertainment is made possible by my supporters over on Patreon. If you enjoyed the show here today, consider signing up. You'll get early access, exclusive videos and podcasts, and more. Pro Wrestling Tees has the merch. As always, thank you for watching. So I mentioned that the truth of the situation is awfully dark, and it is. Sam, our main character, goes out on a mission. It's routine work, and another hallucination distracts him at the worst time. He crashes his rover, and the next thing he knows, he's waking up in the infirmary with Gertie, the onboard robot assistant, checking on his condition. Sam's been under the impression that the live communications on this base are broken, which is why he and his wife Tess have been forced to send pre-recorded videos back and forth all this time. So imagine how Sam feels when he finds Gertie pretty clearly speaking to the Lunar Industries representatives live. What's going on here? Sensing something is off, Sam creates an issue as an excuse to get outside before rescue arrives. What rescue? Why is someone coming here? Trekking out into the darkness, Sam finds his crashed rover, with himself still behind the wheel. He brings this other Sam back to base and demands a response from Gertie, who confirms that this man is also Sam Bell. God damn it, is this movie good. I told you this movie was good ahead of time, but I didn't mention that this is probably in my top 10 of all time. There's still much more to come, so strap in. It becomes obvious to us that this rescued man is the guy we've been following from the start. The Sam we saw wake up moments ago is new. We'll call them Sam 1 and Sam 2. Sam 1 is just happy to have somebody else up here. He's been alone for so long. Even the unexplainable is enough to make him smile. Sam 2 isn't as easily swayed. He knows something is terribly wrong, to the point that he puts into words exactly what you and I are thinking.
Well, then I'm going back.
Is that what you really think?
Yeah.
You're a fucking clone. You don't have shit.
Hey, I'm going home.
What about the original Sam?
I'm the original Sam! I'm Sam fucking Bell!
Hey.
Me!
Gertie, am I a clone?
Are you hungry?
Sam 1 cannot bring himself to accept this. He's about to go home. He can't be a clone. His wife and baby are waiting for him. But the signs are all over the place. Remember that playback glitch from earlier? Sam 1's hair has never been that long. In a conversation regarding this wooden city he's carved, Sam 1 says that he did these few buildings, but he doesn't actually remember starting this model up from scratch. Oh boy. I'll spare you from listing off every little interaction, but Sam 1 continues to deteriorate without explanation. He's throwing up blood, his teeth are falling out, and he sneaks away outside of the jammers that block live transmission, and he calls home. A young woman answers, and our hearts drop as far as Sam's when we learn that Sam's wife died years ago. This young woman is Sam's daughter. When she calls to her dad in the distance and Sam hears his own voice from down the hall, he knows he's seen too much. He discovers through Gertie's records that Sam after Sam have suffered these same symptoms he's going through. And when it's time to head back to Earth, they crawl into the hibernation pod to be shipped home. Only this hibernation pod isn't what it seems. It's an incinerator. And there is a hidden room, just as Sam 2 hypothesized earlier. As you might imagine, this hidden level is stacked, top to bottom, with hundreds of dormant Sam Bell clones. The final plan is for the clearly dying Sam 1 to re-enter the rover so that Rescue can discover his body, which is what they were coming to collect in the first place. Sam 2 will ship himself back to Earth in a Helium-3 transport, while Sam 3, a third clone that Gertie woke up because he's a bro and he's in on the plan, passes as Sam 2. Does this plan work out? Well, I will let you find out for yourself. Watch this movie.
You remember Tess came in for that interview?
She was the best candidate, but it didn't matter. I wanted to keep her in the country.
She was going back to Ireland. Called her. You're terrified, wrote that whole speech for her answering machine, but she didn't need it because she picked up the phone. She said, "Let's get a drink."
Oh man, I left out so many great moments, and I did it on purpose because I want you to experience them for yourself. I'm actually sorry that I spoiled as much of the movie as I did, but I told you I was going to do it. And the thing is, the story beats and reveals are intriguing, they're shocking, they're heartbreaking. But the story itself isn't the only reason to tune in. Sam Rockwell's performance here is out of this world, no pun intended. Empire magazine listed Rockwell's double role in Moon as one of the 10 most egregious Oscar snubs of all time. And yes, Sam Rockwell is playing both roles. This isn't a stunt double guy with Rockwell's face CGI'd over him. Sam Rockwell played both roles, one at a time, and had to remember exactly what he did exactly when he did it in order to react to himself in kind. The only time a stunt double was used was during the fight scenes, but even then, Sam Rockwell would play both roles. He just obviously couldn't do it at the same time. The use of practical effects here is fantastic. The vehicles are all real. They're miniatures. The surface of the moon is real too. Again, a scaled miniature. God damn, I love this stuff. The moon base is also 100% legit. We're not looking at green screened in backdrops. This entire base is one massive interconnected set. Our director, Duncan Jones, does an amazing job navigating every single inch of this place. He said that the set being all one piece basically meant that the crew would walk in, they would close the door behind them, and they wouldn't walk out until the entire day of shooting was finished. That's commitment, man. I bet the entire crew were feeling like Sam Bell by the time this thing was over, with the isolation kicking in. And I mean, I think we all feel that sometimes, right? I know I'm feeling it. I'm shooting this on September 17th, and if all goes according to plan, you're not going to see it until October 14th. My entire September has been spent researching, writing, recording, and editing these episodes of Scream Sequence. There's no time to go anywhere, there's no time to see anyone, there's no time to do anything other than this. I am working so that I can fill October with as many of these videos as possible. This is the 6th episode of 13. Man, I feel like I'm halfway through my 3-year lunar contract, you know? And I'm sure you feel that too, in your own way for your own reasons. Isolation is something that we can all identify with, and that is probably why this story is so powerful. Moon was made independently, and unbelievably was completed under a budget of just $5 million. Look at this. I can't believe they pulled this off for $5 million. It's insane. In its limited theatrical release on June 12th, 2009, Moon earned just under $10 million at the box office. Like I said earlier, nobody talks about this movie, and that sucks because it's really, really good. And don't just take it from me. Critics raved about Moon. The film won a BAFTA award. It took home 2 British Independent Film Awards, among many others. I think my buddy Robinson, the #1 handsome boy, recommended this one to me back in like 2013. And I'm glad he did, because I fell in love with it immediately. Robinson was also the person who pointed out to me that Sam Rockwell dances in practically every movie he's in. And yes, he even dances on the moon. Sam Rockwell, man, an underrated legend. Moon is so good. Make sure you check it out. Oh, there it is, Dan's Moon. Don't miss it. Hey, do you remember in season 1 of Scream Sequence when I covered the first Resident Evil movie from 2002? It's not a bad movie. It's not great, but it isn't terrible. It's not what many of us were looking for, but it could have been a lot worse. Next time on Scream Sequence, I'll review 2021's Resident Evil: Welcome to Raccoon City.